The Marketing Funnel Strategy Show. More leads. More sales. More predictability.
Introducing Jared Hyman, sales and marketing expert. Introducing Serena Carley, marketing and outsourcing expert.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Marketing Funnels and Strategy Show for the 13th of September 2021. I'm here with the wonderful Serena. How are you doing today, Serena?
Hey, how are you going? You're a little bit pinkish today, but apart from that, I'm doing pretty good, thanks.
Fantastic to hear. You guys know the rule, right? If we've added some value to you in any way, shape, or form with anything that we say on this show, all we ask is that you just share the show. We don't run any advertising on the show. We don't, we don't put any paid ads or anything like that behind it. We just purely here 2 times a week, giving you guys absolute value, exactly what you must do to be able to scale your marketing, right? And if you guys haven't done it yet, make sure that you register for the Ultimate Business Bootcamp coming up at the end of this month. Just go to ultimatebusinessevents.com. That's ultimatebusinessevents.com. Register for the Ultimate Business Bootcamp. On today's show, we're going to be talking about, how do you move your business forward if you have gone through a few challenges. Like, let's say, for example, you've had campaigns that are running before. They've been working incredibly well. Now, all of a sudden, they're not working well. How do you go about turning things around with changing market conditions? What do you do? I know this has happened to me many, many times ever since I've been marketing our brand since 2014. You could be running a campaign, it's going incredibly, incredibly well. Then all of a sudden, it just does nothing. And it's a challenging time, right? Because you think, okay, everything's going well. And then all of a sudden things just fall to shit. And you just you're like, what the hell changed? And you can't work it out. And you've got to try and change some things around in order to get things running again. I'll give you an example. We ran a webinar for about 12 months, was our first offer we ever ran. And on that webinar, we did hundreds of thousands in sales. Things went really well. We generated thousands of leads through that particular funnel. Then all of a sudden, no matter what we did, no matter what we changed in that webinar, it just continued to flop. And if I looked at it, everyone in the same industry was all running the exact same campaigns. There wasn't really too much different. We just kind of fitted into the crowd, hence the reason why, lead generation dried up. Serena, how often have you seen this happen, right? Where you've run really well campaigns in other businesses and so on that you've run, and, it's done incredibly well. Then all of a sudden things just haven't gone to plan. How often has that happened to you over your business career? You're muted, Serena.
I do that every time I go to open the Facebook page. I turn it down because it immediately starts making a noise, and I don't want to disturb you. I know it can throw you out a lot, if you hear something else. But anyway, it's probably a lot more than what I realized, because when you deal with everything in the moment and then something goes wrong and you're like, oh my God, and you're trying to work out how to fix it, and then you just get on with it and move on. It's usually got to do with, somebody letting you down, power, your advertising format didn't work, your hosting went down, someone didn't come through with the landing page on time. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong. But the biggest, I think, is getting your leads and getting the people to where you want to go is the hardest to really work on. And you've got to really know how to tweak that properly.
Well, let's take, for example, one of your online businesses, right? You were running a lot of search engine optimization on that website, and then all of a sudden, so what was number one completely changed for you, right?
Oh yes, because if you can't take your eyes off the ball. If you have your competition coming up and they produce something better, and you're not on top of your toes, you're a goner, So if you're looking somewhere else, and then next minute you look back and it's like, whoa, what happened there? My business coach always said, never take your eyes off the business, and you've got to really stay on top of it. So while people are feeding off what you're doing and working to strive better than you also need to be doing that, with what others have got, the technology and the knowledge and the expertise to be able to create what you want better as well too. And that's so important, because while you keep growing, whoever's following you behind will always be behind. If you stop implementing and learning and getting stuff done for you that, can be done properly, then those coming behind will bypass you and you'll be the follower.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Right? Like, a lot of businesses where you can be just doing really, really well 1 minute, and then all of a sudden things can just literally change. I think a large percentage of it is because of what you said exactly there, was people take their eyes off the ball, right? So I think back in 2018, when I was running that campaign, it was going successfully for over 12 months, but I just took my eyes off the ball, right? And when I took my eyes off the ball, what happened is the ad cost started skyrocketing. And then, all of a sudden, what went from, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 leads a week went to completely zero, because there was no monitoring. We weren't innovating the offers. We weren't changing things. We weren't tweaking. We weren't creating new graphics, all these types of things. We weren't doing anything to change the way that we were advertising or the way that we were doing things. We weren't even listening to the market. And hence the reason why things just dried up completely. And when things dry up completely, and when you're relying on a source of lead generation to come through every single week for you, it can be really, really stressful, right? Because you've still got the same expenses to open the doors that week. And it's a mad rush around to go, shit, what do we do now? Like, it's
a lot of people put their energy sometimes into the wrong thing. As long as they feel like they're being busy and doing something, they feel like they're accomplishing. But what they're doing is they're focusing on something that they may know what to do, and avoiding what they don't know what to do, and just leaving it there to suffer. So you have to work out what your talents are. Where does your talents lie in your business, and focus on that, and get the experts in to do the rest. And it's, with our growth, we're sort of, getting experts in to step into our shoes, so we're not spreading ourselves too thin, so we can focus on what we're good at and let the other experts do our other stuff that we were doing before, so that it generates more income and keeps your business growing. And that's what you need to do in your business as well too, is, stop doing the small shit. Stop focusing on stuff that's not your cup of tea. Stop thinking I'm going to save money and spread myself thin, because all you do is spread the company thin. You need to just step back and take a really good look. What's your expertise? Focus on that. Grow that, make it bigger in your business, and then find the people to fill the jobs that you're not as 100% on, or, you sort of know about it, but you really don't know how to do it 100% effectively.
100%. And this is the thing, right? Isn't it? Like, you take you can just take your eyes off things for like a few seconds, and all of a sudden this can happen, And if you're dealing with bigger budgets and marketing and all these types of things as well, like literally a day can be, I spent $2,000-$3,000 and, got absolutely nothing in return as a result, right? That's how quickly things can happen in the marketing world or in the business world. Things are ever changing. But, let's say, for example, if something like this happened to you, right, there's a few things that we like to do when it comes to, if this was to happen and things were to dry up and what was working before wasn't working now, here's what we'd do first. The biggest thing when it comes to any marketing campaign, right, or anything to do with business, part of it, and the reason why people fail, is because there's just not enough cash coming through the door, right? That's the reason why people fail. It's not because of the marketing. It's not because of the sales or anything like that even sometimes. It just means that there's just not enough cash through the door. If you're spending 10 and 2's coming through the door, right? It's always going to go down, regardless of whether you've got leads coming in or and sales and things like that. So part of the reason is, you got to get your acquisition system has got to be paying you to bring in new clients, which means that you need to, as quickly as possible, you need to have an offer that brings in more cash up front than you spend. It's a simple, that's how simple it is, right? So the one offer can make your business, or it could literally break it. and a lot of the things I realized too, the more complex you structure things and the more complex your business's delivery is as well, that can also hold your business up from being able to grow as well. So you could be getting heaps of cash in, right? But if your delivery isn't on point and it isn't smooth and it doesn't bring things through as quickly as possible for you and for your business, that on its own as well can ruin the whole sort of offering and the whole sort of way that your business can move and how fast your business can move forward. So, your offering has got to be where you come to first. And part of your offering as well is listening to your market. What does the market want? So you got to look at it one side. What does the market want? What's the dream outcomes that they're after? And on the other side, what is everything that's holding them up from and the potential objections that they can have in order to buy your product and service faster? So you got to think, okay, what's everything they want, dream outcomes? What are the hurdles, obstacles, things like that stand in their way? What are the challenges? And literally your offering has got to cover all of that, okay? And make it just something that people just feel so stupid to not take you up on the offer, right? And all of it is based around three main metrics: relationships, health, or monetary, right? And if you can kind of weave those three things through your offering as well, what it's going to do as a big picture is it's going to help you scale so much faster. It's going to bring more cash through the door. And, if you can limit that, and this is why done for you services are so great. People don't have to think. High monetary, they put a high monetary value on something, someone does, when something is completely done for them. It's completely hands off. And, this is why also as well, we say to a lot of businesses in the service game, when they're kind of getting started, if you can create things to be done for you, one-to-one type services, it's a higher monetary value, which enables you to be able to sell things at higher prices, which then enables you as well, in addition to that, to be able to acquire clients a lot faster because it's very hands-off, okay? As opposed to doing all these other things that a lot of people say to do these days, is like do all this group stuff and all these different things. Whereas if you can kind of look at things from a different angle and go, okay, cool, people pay more money for things that are either one-on-one, or people pay more money for things that are, done for them in some way, shape or form. And, any industry can kind of package something together around this as well, which, then will enable them to charge more for the service. And it's just, once you know all those obstacles, challenges, things that are going to come up, and you can just literally package that into your own offer as well, it's just going to be something that people just cannot say no to. And, these are the things that we look at even now when we're looking to launch brands and so on. Business Warriors has started taking a bit of a, honed in focus on a niche for a new product and a new company that we're launching very, very soon as well, which is super, super exciting. And, part of it is us packaging together an offering that's going to be completely, hands off, that's going to be completely irresistible, that this marketplace is just going to go, holy crap, there is no way that I'm going to say no to this, right? And this is the super cool thing about it all as well, is that, you know, your business, whenever you're looking at doing these things as well, you've got to be looking at the offering to start with, you know, which, you know, it doesn't even these days have to be a webinar. It doesn't have to be a download. It doesn't have to be any of these other things. If you can just make something so irresistible that someone literally couldn't say no, even if they tried, because it was that good, this is what keeps marketing full. And this is the reason why if you really listen to the marketplace and what the marketplace is after, you can craft together something like this. It is completely irresistible. Because every marketplace, every marketing campaign has a set of, you know, things or desires that someone wants. And then there's a huge, like there's a desire, which sounds great, but there's a shit ton of obstacles here in the way for somebody. And if you can package all of those obstacles and, you know, say, cool, there's absolutely nothing here that this is everything that this is all your obstacles. Let's take care of all of those for you. Let's get you your dream outcome, and let's guarantee that it's going to happen as well. With those 3 levels deep in an offering, you know, people are going to never, ever, ever say no to this offer, because it is so irresistible that you're going to be running profitable campaigns for the rest of your life through this particular process. Because part of the reason, like when you've got these things in place, you can charge more, which means your marketing budget's going to be front loaded, right? Because you know that up front you're getting $600 and it's cost you $200 to get that person. Everything is front loaded. And a lot of, you know, marketing channels, they charge you in arrears for your marketing, right? So your arrears value is, you know, if your marketing budget is $2,000 a month for campaigns, right? Then, you know, you set 2,000 as a budget, you don't have to pay for that for 30 days, right? So your business can start acquiring people $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 worth of, you know, money up front for services that you didn't have to pay for until that end of the month. So this is what you've got to be looking at doing. So if things have completely dried up, even if you've just tried doing everything that you possibly could to get these marketing campaigns to work for you, if you just look at this one thing and you look at those 3 aspects, it's going to help you move forward so much faster, help you be able to generate more cash flow upfront into your bank account to cover your marketing budgets. And then it's just a question of, hey, you know, it turns into a game then. It's like, and this is the exciting thing I find about marketing, is when it turns into a game, right? Because, you know, you can go, like, it's literally like playing online poker, right? You keep clicking the buttons, and all of a sudden, right, bing, ding, 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 these types of things are going off in the background, all this sort of stuff, which is, you know, you've just spent more money on marketing, right? On paper, hasn't come out of your account yet. You're getting all of these leads come through, and then it's your challenge as a business owner to then go, all right, I'm going to be, you know, on phones, speaking to people, making sales, right? This is where it just turns into an absolute game. And it's like, you know, I've given them their dream outcome. I've just, you know, got rid of all of their obstacles standing in their way. I've just said to them as well, in addition to this, you know, I've guaranteed that they get the result, and either way, they're going to get a monetary return. It's so irresistible that someone goes, oh my God, I'd be silly not to do this. And it brings buying decisions forward a lot faster as well, to get people to take action on this too. Completely blows you away. So as a business owner, or as what you should call yourself is a marketer, right? These are the types of things that you want to look at putting together to be able to front load a lot of these campaigns that you're running. You can just get more cash in faster and upfront, get paid to acquire clients. That's the idea of marketing. And this is the reason why on our background here as well, you'll see on the top right, the blue section where it says acquire clients with no cost to advertising. That's what you're looking for. A lot of clients go, this is all good and great. This is fantastic. This sounds great on the big sort of picture of all of this. And, they go, okay, cool. What do I do? And the internet then says, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do something else, you got to do something else again. When really, you don't need to do all of these different things. You don't even need all of the tech that these people say that you need. All you need is just one big offering and, one way to acquire people to bring in and give that offer to. And all of a sudden you're finding yourself at 3, 4, 5x return on investment, all these types of things, right? Pretty straightforward. Would you agree, Serena? A lot of what you've done with your previous businesses, right? Like even with Ultimate Business Detox and these other ones as well that you're running, right? Like if you've got a really, really good offering and it's irresistible and people can go, yeah, okay, I can get that value out of this. People just buy it, don't they? It's just.
Well, you've got to show them what, you've gone. Are you?
Pardon?
Oh, sorry.
I'm here.
I was watching the Facebook one and you were still talking. I said, I can't hear you. That's so funny. That's right. You got two things going here. One's a little bit delayed. And so you're talking and I was sending an SMS for 300. Anyway, it's true. And the other thing that I was going to say is that people try to do things that are less costly for them. So they focus on, for example, just totally on, I've just got to SEO my website and make my website number one on Google. And, it doesn't matter whether you're number one or not. When someone comes into Google, they're actually looking for, yes, they are specific. They're looking for the business, but they're also bringing up every other business around you. So you either need to be number one or at least in the first top two. So you sort of focus on that. You could put a lot of money in that could then go into being specifically putting yourself out in front of people, targeting only just your business, nobody else or your competition. And I keep saying this because I just don't see people understanding that a lot, not the really small business people. Maybe the larger ones do and they're not so, medium to large size do. But the small to medium business, I think sometimes just don't get that completely.
Very, very true. Very, very true. And, it's one of those things, right? Like you got to innovate what it is that you do. You've got to find new ways to make things irresistible to people. And, if your business isn't listening to the marketplace, this is the reason why people really fail in business. They're not acquiring enough cash up front to front load things, okay? And keep their business afloat. They're spending more than what's coming in. So you got to find ways to be able to package things to be able to do that, right? Bring things in faster. Move sales cycles forward faster. And if you can just and a lot of this comes through the offerings and the way that you structure what it is that you do. Totally amazing. I think it's been a good session. I mean, if you guys as well who have been watching, or maybe you're watching the replay, if you got some value from today's episode, I just want you to type the word value just into the comments. Just let us know. We love to know that what we are giving you on the show 2 times a week for absolutely free, by the way, is giving you exactly what you need to move forward. It's helping you think differently. It's helping you, really start articulating what it is that you do differently as well. Because if you can just really work this one thing out, it's going to make a huge difference to your business. So anyway, guys, Thanks for tuning in for today. We're going to go. We've got another meeting on in a couple of minutes, or actually right now. So all I want you to do is just remember this one thing before we go. If you do not fight for your own freedom, nobody else will. So every single day you must get out. Every single day you must take action. Every single day you must make it happen. Remember to be the warrior. We will see you on Friday, 1 p.m. Perth time, 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. New Zealand time. See you all then. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.